This is a series called Raising Reverence. I am on my morning magical mystery school hike with my fairy, Somerset, and some feathers. And we saw an incredible Akita, magic dog.
This is Heath.
Heath. And Heath led us to this being who's going to talk about consciousness and film and stories. And black and white. Actually, let's talk about the shirt first, and then we'll go into what you do.
Okay, so stark contrast provides an opportunity to understand more deeply. So dark and light are pitted against each other forever so that we can understand the difference, but really they're one thing pretending to be two things. And all of these constructs that we've built in our society, light, dark, whatever, are meant to teach us of a greater understanding that we're all light, we're all consciousness, but we have the potential to be shadow, and that's where the choice comes in. That's where preference comes in. And through our journeys, we all have to decide what it means to be us, and that means leaving the self. So you have to acknowledge that I'm playing this role, I'm this avatar, I'm this John Goodfellow character that I was named, but really behind that, I'm a soul, and being a soul, I'm an extension of the pure consciousness of God or the universe, whichever you want to call it. And we're all that. We're all mirrors reflecting our own truth on each other. So if you're triggered by someone else, or you see someone else is doing something bad, that means there's some healing you have to do inside. And that's the whole duality complex that we have to deal with, is understanding that all of us are the same thing, yet we're separate. And there are things we like and don't like, but they're all part of the experience. And once we let go of preference and we just enjoy the journey, everything becomes more simple.
And so you are a stylist and you're a writer.
Yes.
And so were you always into fashion as a child, or did that happen
So
later?
I grew up with art. I've been drawing my whole life. My mom's an interior designer. And my dad worked for Nordstrom for years way back in the 80s. And so we grew up in a family where image was an extension of who you are. And so we all were encouraged by our parents to express ourselves that way and have fun and to dress how we feel, because your appearance is going to be the first thing that people see. And so why not project what you're about with your appearance? And if today's a bum day, you'll see me rolling around in like ripped Nike sweat shorts and a tank top. But today happened to be a day where I felt like these boots were gifted to me by Shoe the Bear, and so kind of a rocker boot, so I went with kind of a more this kind of a thing. But the writing came later. The writing started out as, my mom always told me I'm a writer, but I didn't believe her, and it was kind of one of those mom nagging things. And it became an art of healing, because I had a lot of stuff that I had been stuffing down, because I was a man and I was not into my feelings, and I was very good at turning them off. I was prescribed Adderall as a kid, so 12 to like 21 I was using Adderall, not abusing it, but just a prescription, and that allowed me to really shut my feelings off. And I was like this really super conscious computer. And I was a great artist and I could live in a creative world, but I was disconnected emotionally. And so all those years of repressed everything else led to a really weird 20s where I was trying to like all of a sudden have feelings, but I didn't know how. And I still kept repressing them. And so once I started realizing I needed to heal, the writing was a mechanism for me to connect with the divine and let it fly and figure it all out. And then it became, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to do, is I'm supposed to write this stuff so that other people like me, other men, and other people who have been repressed or suppressed by society can let go. And that's kind of the mission. Because science, spirituality,